Earlier, a friend of mine, he sent me an amazing, like a music performance, one of his favorites. If you didn't know, my favorite band is Pearl Jam. He went to go see them, and he videoed Pearl Jam performing, man. Oh my God. And I responded to him and I said, dude, I could see the beauty in that. And you know what else? I could see his soul. As Eddie Vedder was performing, you could just hear his soul in him. You could just fucking feel it. And that is what you've got to start caring about if you want to make this shift from feeding that like indulgent part of you to you cleaning your vessel, applying discipline, but in a really spiritual way to create spiritual purification, to get you back, to get your soul back. Yeah, because really, it's not that you need to get your soul, it's that, you are your soul, right? In the same way that like you're always conscious, but you're just in varying degrees of consciousness. But you're always conscious. You can't not be conscious. In the same way, you are your soul, yeah? So what we're doing, most of this work, man, honestly, it's about removing the barriers, removing the blockages, detoxing, and aligning ourselves with a life that is conducive to really good spiritual health. And how do we know we're spiritually healthy? Only we know. And the way we do it is we feel inward and we ask, what is the quality of my energy? Yeah, because only you can feel it. And also, just practically speaking, when you feel your energy again, when you feel your soul again, when you feel your purity, really, that'll be enough. You don't actually need anything from anyone else. You know that. And really, the reason I mention this is just to speak to the spiritual ego within you in case you have that or had that. I had that. I had a desire to look spiritual at some point. And so, I did that bullshit. But now it's literally just coming back to myself and getting myself, to feel who I am and my true consciousness that is now pure and clean and pristine because of the care that I've had for myself. I've treated myself very consciously. And I've surrendered certain rewards that are maybe a bit too stimulating. Sexual rewards, food rewards. In fact, that's a whole insight you can have. You can kind of like think to yourself, man, why is it that I'm so drawn to sex? Why is it that I'm so drawn to food? And you can realize, it's because they offer the biggest rewards. But then you kind of like, you do them and you're kind of probably reflecting, contemplating as you do them and like seeing the suffering, seeing the highs and the lows. And then you think to yourself, man, interesting. So this is like what I'm programmed to desire. Yeah? The freedom is in realizing your own programming, your own wiring. When you go meta, you see, oh man, I'm really fucking drawn to that. I can't even help that. I just want sex. If that's the case, notice it. I love the idea that awareness alone is curative. And basically, like if you're a really conscious person, that will really apply. It's as if your intuition wraps around the thing and you have a swifter understanding. And that understanding is also deeper. And also, like all of this, it's your higher self doing it. Anytime I think I'm the guy, because I'm, having some shifts, I'm like, no. It's your higher self. It's always your higher self. Anytime you think about taking credit, just don't, because it's your higher self. Now, also, I want to share this. The way I do this work, the way I work through all of this stuff, is I basically just don't deny what I want until I've hit that point where it's just so painful. I've always been into really burning through karma, as I like to say. Because for me, when I want something, I'm just going to go and do it. And I realize that the learning that I need is like a spiritual learning. And the way that I acquire that spiritual learning is by suffering really bad. And the only way I can get out suffering is by doing the thing and pushing it to its max. So for me, I've always been, really quite hardcore with whatever I'm doing. For example, if it were in the chapter where I'm having sex a lot. Or if it's with food, I'm not just going to eat a couple of nice little things. I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. Yeah? And the wisdom is in the suffering when you're bloated, full, wishing that you could have a different experience because it's fucking just unpleasant. There's the wisdom. Can you get to that point without judging yourself and allowing yourself to go through that process? I think you can. Probably because, if you're like me, you'll just go for the thing. Yeah? We all just go for it, man. We all just, indulge and binge. We all do it, man. It's funny, really, because when you do it, when you go for it, you kind of feel like, shit, I'm the only one who probably does this. No one else fucking does this. I'm a real fucking gremlin right now. And really, the reality is, if you ask anyone else, they do it. They do it too. If you judge yourself for doing this, realize you don't need to. Unless that self-judgment really contributes to the suffering that helps propel you out of this, then honestly, that's unproductive thinking. That doesn't raise your consciousness. And by the way, man, if at any point you do feel, quite a lot of self-judgment, listen, man, just remember that you can use self-forgiveness. The people that I know, the people that I hang around with, the people that I associate with are amazing at one thing. You know what that is? Instant self-forgiveness. If you're around them and they, you make a mistake, you fucking bump into someone, you spill some coffee on them, they're so well versed in self-forgiveness that when you look over at them and expecting them to be all fucking angry at you, they look at you with such love. And I am becoming one of those people because I'm getting that sort of, I've installed that program in my mind. And I realize even if I want to be indulgent, even if I want to lean into my inner addict, I can apply the very same self-forgiveness and it genuinely be real. Because when you start out on this path, man, you will hear so much stuff from people like, oh, practice self-forgiveness, oh, meditate, oh, all this stuff. And the reality is, you are where you are. You got to work with what is true for you. And you want to constantly be saying, what is true for me? Because one day something will sound lofty and abstract and kind of bullshit. And then another day, you're like, oh my God, I need to tell people about this. I need to fucking, it's true for me. And that is your growth. And, do catch yourself there. If you have a desire to tell other people about something, realize what you're really doing. You have a desire to tell yourself. So redirect that. Go back within. Whatever you want to say to other people, apply it doubly as much for you. Because that's what you really need. My friend, I hope this has helped you. If you would like any more support from me personally, I do offer one-to-one coaching and mentoring. If that interests you, you can see the link in the description. Otherwise, my friend, that's it for us. Take care, lots of love, and as always, man, peace.